Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to study NCERT book Class 8 Geography, chapter number 3 Minerals and Power Resources on the channel of Radha the Learner. So अगर आपको फर्स्ट चैप्टर और सेकंड चैप्टर का चाहिए तो मैंने वीडियो पहले अपलोड कर दिया विथ एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चंस. So we will come first on introduction. Rocks on these earth have several materials mixed in terms that are called minerals, and minerals are scattered throughout the earth's rocky crust. Minerals is a naturally occurring substances that has a definite chemical compositions. Minerals are found in different types of geological environment under varying conditions created by natural processes with any human interference. These are some minerals. Minerals can be identified on the basis of the physical properties such as color, density, hardness, and chemical properties such as solubility. There are over 3000 different minerals and they are classified on the basis of composition and are classified mainly as metallic and non-metallic minerals. Metallic minerals contain metal in raw form. Metals are the hard substances that conduct heat and electricity and have characteristics luster of or shine. Metallic minerals may be ferrous or non-ferrous. Ferrous minerals like iron ore, magnesium and chromides contains iron. Non-ferrous minerals does not contain iron, may contain other metals such as gold, silver, copper or lead. Non-metallic minerals do not contain metals. Limestone, mica and gypsum are example of such minerals. The minerals fuels like coal and petroleum are also non-metallic minerals. Minerals can be extracted by mining, drilling and quarrying. Minerals are of two types: open cast mining and shaft mining. Mining is the process of taking out materials from rock buried under the earth's surface. Open cast mining is when minerals that lie at shallow depth are taken out by removing the surfaces layer and deep bores called shafts have to be made to reach mineral deposit that lie at great depth, and these process is called shaft mining. So this is the basic picture of mining, drilling and quarrying. Drilling is when petroleum and natural gas occur far below the earth's surface are taken out by deep bored wells. Quarrying is the process in which minerals that lie near the surface are simply dug out. Minerals occur in different types of rocks, and these are found in igneous rock, metamorphic rock, and some occur in sedimentary rocks. So we will come to countries like first Asia. China and India have large iron ore deposits, and the continent produces more than half of the world's tin. Asia also have deposits of magnesium, bauxite, nickel, zinc and copper. So this is basically the map where which mineral is we got. This black color symbol is iron. The star one means the plus sign symbol is copper, and the red star symbol is bauxite. So now Europe, leading producer of iron ore in the world, mineral deposits of copper, lead, zinc, magnesium and nickel are found in Eastern Europe and European Asia. North America. The mineral deposits in North America are located in three zones: the Canadian region of the Great Lakes, the Appalachian region, the mountain ranges of the West. Western Cordilleras have vast deposits of copper, lead, zinc, gold, and silver. South America. Now, the next is South America. Brazil is the largest producer of high grade iron ore in the world. Chile and Peru are leading producers of copper. Brazil and Bolivia are among the world's largest producer of tin. South America also have large deposits of gold, silver, zinc, chromium, magnesium, bauxite, mica, platinum, asbestos, and diamond. So this is the map of Europe and which mineral and where the minerals we get. Now Africa, rich in mineral resources, world's largest producer of diamonds, golds and platinum. South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zaire produce a large portion of the world's gold. Oil is found in Nigeria, Libya, and Angola. Now, Australia, largest producer of bauxite in the world, leading producer of gold, diamond, iron ore, and tin and nickel. Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie areas of Australia have the largest deposits of gold. Antarctica. Geology of Antarctica is sufficiently well known to predict the existence of variety of mineral deposits, some probably large. Significant size of deposits of coal in the Transantarctic Mountains and iron near the Prince Charles Mountains of East America, Antarctica in the forecasted. So the red symbols symbolize that where we get coal, and the triangle symbolize that where we got mineral oil. So distribution in India. So first is iron. Deposit of high grade iron ore in India. The mineral is mainly found in Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Now bauxite. Major bauxite producing areas are Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Now next is mica. Mica deposits mainly occur in Jharkhand, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan. India is the largest producer and exporter of mica in the world. So the first, this is iron. Second one is bauxite and third one is mica. Now copper, mainly produced in Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Then magnesium, deposit lie in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Limestone, major producing states in India are Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Gold, Kolar in Karnataka has deposit of gold in India. These mines are among the deepest in the world, making the mining of the ore a very expensive process. So first one is copper, second one looks like a steel but it is magnesium, and this rock like is limestone, and this is gold. So next is salt obtained from sea, lakes and rocks. India is one of the world's leading producer and exporters of salt. So there are many types of and many colors of salt. So here are some pictures. So now next topic is uses of minerals. Minerals are used in many industries. Those used in gems are usually hard. Silicon is obtained from quartz and aluminium is obtained from ore bauxite. Minerals are non-renewable resources that takes thousands of years of the for the formation and concentration of minerals. The rate of formation is much smaller than that of its consumption. To conserve mineral resources, it is necessary to reduce wastage in the process of mining, and with the recycling of metals is another way in which the mineral resources can be conserved. So next topic is power resources. Science and technology changes the lifestyle very fastly. Power or energy plays an vital role in our lives. Power resources are broadly categorized as conventional and non-conventional resources. So these are power resources, and in that enter some headlines here. So this is non-renewable resources and this blue part is renewable resources. So you can see this. Now conventional sources of energy. These are those energies which have been in common use for a long time. Fire, wood and fossil fuels are the two main conventional energy. This is conventional sources of energy. This diagram, this whole chart is given in your textbook. So I'm giving to understand you properly. So conventional sources of energy is having oil, natural gas, firewood, coal and hydel power. So first we'll start with coal. Advantages of coal is First, extensively available. Second, efficient conversion of electricity. Disadvantages: first, polluting source. Second, bulky of transport. Now we come to hydel power. Advantages: non polluting, promotes irrigation and fishing, cheap. Disadvantages: displacement of local community. Second is inundates low. Third is expensive to set up. Third, we will go to firewood. Advantages of firewood are: first, easy access. Second, provide energy to a large number of people. Now, disadvantages are: first, collecting is the time consuming. Second, polluting. Third, promoting greenhouse effects, deforestation. Now we will come to oil. So oil advantages is easier to transport like tankers, basis of petrochemical industries. And to natural gas, natural gas advantages are easier to transport like pipelines, by pipelines. So basically here it's given that oil is transferred because through the tankers, and natural gas is transport because of pipelines. So second advantage of natural gas is cleaner than oil and coal, cheaper than oil. So oil and natural gas both disadvantages are: depletion of oxygen due to oil spillage and gas leakage. Second is pollutant release caused acid rain. Exploitation of new fuel is not easy. So fossil fuel, the reservoir of these minerals are limited. Rate at which they are consumed due to a rapid growth in pollution might be the reason that they get exhausted soon. Now, coal, most abundantly fossil fuel. Electricity from coal is called thermal power. Coal is referred to as buried sunshine because coal which is used today was formed millions of years ago when giant ferns and swamps got buried under the layers of earth. Now next is 38, petroleum. It is found between the layers of rocks and is drilled from oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. Then this is sent to refineries which process the crude oil and produce a variety of products. Petroleum and its derivatives are called black gold because they are very valuable. Now, natural gas, found with petroleum deposit and is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. Very few countries of the world have sufficient natural gas reserves of their own. Now, hydel power. Rainwater or river water stored in dams is made to fall from height. The falling water flows through pipes inside the dam over turbine blades placed at the bottom of the dam, and the moving blades then turn the generator to produce electricity. This is called hydroelectricity. One fourth of world's electricity is produced by hydel power. So we have completed the conventional sources of energy. Now we are going to non-conventional sources of energy. The increasing use of fossil fuel is leading to its shortage. It is estimated that if the present rate of consumption continues, the reserves of these fuel will get exhausted. There is need for using non-conventional sources such as solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy which can be renewed. So this also chart is given in your textbook, so I will go through with that. So the first is wind energy. Advantage: non-polluting, safe and clean, low cost production of electricity setup. Disadvantage: noise pollution, windmills costly to set up, disturbs radio and TV reception, harmful to birds. Now solar energy. Advantages: inexhaustible, non-polluting. Disadvantages: expensive, diffuse source, so gets wasted. Tidal energy. Advantages: non-polluting, inexhaustible. Disadvantage: destroy wildlife habitat, difficult to harness. So next is nuclear energy. Advantage: emits large amount of energy. Disadvantage: generates radioactive waste, expensive. Biogas. Advantage: low cost, easy to operate, makes use to or use of bio waste. Now disadvantages is causes greenhouse effect. Geothermal energy. Advantage: clean, eco-friendly and always available. Disadvantages: located far away from cities and so costly to transport the electricity. So we have completed there, but we will go through with some basic topic like solar energy. Solar energy trapped from the sun can be used in solar cells to produce electricity. The technology of utilizing solar energy benefits a lot of tropical countries that are blessed with abundant sunshine. Now, wind energy. Wind, an inexhaustible source of energy. Windmills have been used for grinding grain and lifting water since times immemorial. In modern time, the high-speed winds rotate the windmill, which is connected to a generator to procedure electricity. Now, nuclear power. Obtaining from energy stored in the nuclei of atoms of naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium and thorium. These fuels undergo nuclear fission in nuclear reactors and emit power. The greatest producer of nuclear power are USA and Europe. In India, thorium is found in large quantities in monazite sands of Kerala. The nuclear power station in India are located in Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar near Kota in Rajasthan, Narora in Uttar Pradesh and Kaiga in Karnataka. Now, geothermal energy. Heat energy obtained from the earth is called geothermal energy. The temperature in this interior of the earth rises steadily as we go deeper, and sometimes this heat energy may surface itself in the form of hot springs. These heat energy can be used to generate power. USA has the world's largest geothermal power plants. In India, geothermal plants are located in Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in Ladakh. So, tidal energy. Energy generated from tides is called tidal energy. Tidal energy can be harnessed by buildings, dams at narrow opening of the sea. During high tide, the energy of tides is used to turn the turbine installed in the dam to produce electricity. Russia, France, and the Gulf of Kutch in India have huge tidal mills farm. Now, biogas. Organic waste such as dead plant and animal material, animal dung, and kitchen waste can be converted into gaseous fuel called biogas. The organic waste is decomposed by bacteria in biogas digesters to emit biogas, which is essentially a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. Energy exists on our earth in several forms, but saving energy rather than wasting it is more compulsory because the energy saved in the is the energy generated. So we have completed our chapter. So now we are going with some definition, proper definition that will help you. Mineral, a naturally occurring substance that has a definite chemical composition, is a mineral. Rock, an aggregate of one or more minerals with a mineral but without definite composition of constituent of mineral. Now, ore, rocks from which mineral are mined are known as ores. Mining, the process of taking out minerals from rocks buried under the earth's surface is called mining. Quarrying, minerals that lie near the surface are simply dug out by the process known as quarrying. Petroleum, it is derived from Latin word petra meaning rock and oleum meaning oil. So petroleum means rock oil. Geothermal energy, heat energy obtained from the earth is called geothermal energy. Tidal energy, it is the energy generated from the tides. So in first chapter of geography class 8 only, I have given 10 extra questions. Now in second chapter I had given 15 extra questions, and in third chapter I am giving you 20 extra questions. So question number 1, What is mineral? Sorry, I have not written there. A naturally occurring substances that has definite chemical composition is a mineral. Second, what is mean by a rock? A rock is an aggregate of one or more minerals but without a definite composition of constituent of mineral. Third, define open cast mining. Minerals that lie at shallow depth are taken out by removing the surface layer. This is known as open cast mining. Fourth, what does the term quarrying means? Minerals that lie near the surface are simply dug out by the process known as quarrying. Fifth, which country has no known mineral deposit in it? Answer, Switzerland has no known mineral deposit in it. Sixth, name the two countries of Asia that have large iron ore deposits, China and India. Seventh, how is salt obtained? Salt is obtained from seas, lakes, and rocks. Eighth, where are the oldest rock in the world located? In the Western Australia. 9. Define geothermal energy. Heat energy obtained from the earth is called geothermal energy. What is biogas? Organic waste such as dead plant and animal material and dung and kitchen waste can be converted into gaseous fuel called biogas. 11. Name the greatest producer of nuclear power, USA and Europe. Which type of energy is wind energy? Wind is an inexhaustible source of energy. 13. How are windmills used since times immemorial? Windmills have been used for grinding grain and lifting water since times immemorial. 14. Define geothermal energy, heat energy obtained from earth. 15. In which part of India there is a huge tidal mill farm? In the Gulf of Kutch. 16. Where in India are the geothermal plants located? Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in Ladakh. 17. How is firewood widely used? It is widely used for cooking and heating. 18. What are the two main conventional sources of energy? Firewood and fossil fuel. 19. Which is the most abundantly fossil fuel? Coal is the most abundantly found fossil fuel. 20. What is the thermal power? Electricity from coal is called the thermal power. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe and comment out if you are having any quarrel and if you want any subjects video. Thanks for watching.